Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another day of learning. We are your teachers today. I am Miss Tekela.
And I'm Miss Ashlee. Get ready for another fun, full episode of learning.
We are so excited to be with you today. Our focus standards will be RI.K.1, 4, 7, 10, W.K.2, and 7, and L.K.1 and 4 through 6.
Miss Tekela and I are ready to teach you about weather for the next few minutes.
Do you ever get letters from a friend or relative who lives somewhere else? If you do get letters written by a friend or relative, we might call that person your pen pal.
A pen pal is a friend with whom you exchange written letters, but who you may only see occasionally.
Today, we're going to hear from a pretend pen pal named Annie.
Annie lives in Washington, D.C. This city, Washington, D.C., is the capital of our country, the United States of America. Washington, D.C. is also where the president of the country lives and works.
Annie is going to tell us about the weather and seasons in her hometown, Washington, D.C. It might be very different from your hometown. Weather can be different in different areas of the country.
Annie is going to tell us all about the seasons and weather in Washington, D.C.
Oh, Miss Ashlee, it sounds like seasons and weather might be important words to help us understand what Annie is writing to us.
You are absolutely right, Miss Tekela. Seasons and weather are two of our vocabulary words today. Seasons are different times of the year, and weather is what it is like outside. Seasons, weather.
Annie is also going to tell us about weather patterns during the year. What was the word? Patterns. A pattern is something that repeats itself.
The next word we need to know to listen to Annie's letter is characteristics. Scholars, let me hear you say that word one more time.
Hey, I've heard that word before. We use characteristics to group things together like shape or color.
Yes, Miss Tekela, that's right. I bet some of our scholars at home have used characteristics to group things together too. Characteristics are ways we describe and group things.
The next vocabulary word we'll need for Annie's letter is cycle. A cycle occurs when something happens over and over again in the same order.
Let's go over our words one more time before we start to read Annie's letter. Miss Tekela, why don't you start?
Okay, Miss Ashlee, but I think we should have some fun with this. Let's give our scholars the meaning of the word and see if they can match the word.
Oh, that sounds like fun, Miss Tekela. Take it away.
Okay, learners, put those thinking caps on. Which word tells us what it's like outside?
You got it. That word is weather. Weather tells us what it's like outside. Okay, friends, which word is something that repeats itself?
Awesome job! That word is pattern. Seasons occur in a cycle. Which word means the different times of year?
I heard you. You said seasons. Now, which word means the way we describe and group things together?
Way to go! You said characteristics. We can group shapes by characteristics as well as weather. Which word means something that happens over and over again?
Wow, you got another one. That word is cycle. Our seasons occur in a cycle. Okay, Miss Tekela, I think we're ready to read Annie's letter. I'm so excited to learn about the weather in Washington, D.C.
I'm so excited too. I wonder how much different the weather is here than in Washington, D.C. Are you ready, boys and girls? Great, I am too. Miss Ashlee will read Annie's letters to us today.
Dear kindergartners, hello, my name is Annie and I live in a big city called Washington, D.C. I'm in 5th grade, but I remember when I was in kindergarten, just like you. Right now in school, my class is learning about seasons and weather. For my school project, I'm going to be your weather pen pal. I'm going to teach you what the weather is like where I live. I will also tell you about the weather in different areas or places on Earth. You can help me with my project by answering all my questions so I can learn about what the seasons and weather are like where you live. There are many different kinds of weather. There is sunny weather, cloudy weather, windy weather, rainy weather, and stormy weather. What is the weather like outside today where you live? My teacher says that no matter where you live on Earth, the weather is always changing, hour by hour and day by day. But even though the weather changes, there are still weather patterns during certain times of the year. For example, the weather pattern in summer is mostly sunny and warm. Weather patterns may change a lot in some places and very little in other places. It all depends on where you live on Earth. This is a map of the Earth. I've colored 2 areas on the map blue. One is at the North Pole and one is at the South Pole. Even though the North and South Poles are at opposite ends of the Earth from each other, they share the same weather patterns. The weather pattern at the North and South Pole is always cold, and the land is usually covered by ice. This is the South Pole, which is located on the continent of Antarctica. It is one of the coldest places on Earth. The ground is covered by ice all year long, though it almost never rains or snows here. The wind can be strong and the temperature can be freezing cold. I've colored the middle area of this map red. The weather pattern in this area is usually very warm all year long. The biggest change in weather during different times of the year is the amount of rain. During certain months in the rainforest, the day may start off warm and sunny, but by afternoon, it may rain very, very hard. This weather pattern may occur almost every day. The area gets lots of rain and sun almost year-round. The rain and sun keep the plants and trees green and healthy. Do you see the part of the map that is colored green? This is most of the United States. This is most of the United States, the country where we live. Most of the United States is on the continent of North America, although the state of Hawaii is made up of islands located in the Pacific Ocean. In most of the United States, it's not always cold, like at the North and South Poles, and it's not always hot, like at the middle section of the Earth. The weather in most of the United States changes with every season, so we get cold weather, hot weather, and everything in between. There are 4 seasons in a year: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Each season has different weather, so the weather in the United States changes depending on where you live and which season it is. Plants, trees, grass, and flowers change in different seasons. You will also see different kinds of animals in different seasons. This image shows the season called winter. Winter is the coldest season. In some places, snow and ice cover the ground during wintertime. Other places that do not have snow and ice are still colder in winter than in other seasons. Some animals, like bears, sleep during the winter season. Eventually, winter ends and spring begins. In spring, the sun shines a little longer and warmer each day, which melts the ice and snow. In spring, new leaves appear on the trees, new plants grow up from the warming earth, and flowers bloom again. Many baby animals are born in the spring too. After spring comes summer. Summer is the hottest season of the year in the United States. Summer is the season in which all the plants are at their greenest, full of leaves, flowers, and fruit. Birds, bugs, and other animals are easiest to spot in the summer. Finally, after summer comes autumn. Autumn is also called fall. In most places in the United States, the leaves change colors and fall off certain types of trees in autumn. The air outside gets colder and the sun shines a little less each day. Autumn is when farmers harvest their fruits and vegetables, birds fly south, and everyone gets ready for winter. Let's say the seasons together: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Do you know what season it is right now where you live? How do you know? Each season has its own special characteristics. For example, a characteristic of summer is hot weather, and a characteristic of winter is snow. Now, Miss Tekela, the seasons are different depending on where you live. Not all places get snow in winter, and not all places are steaming hot in the summer. But one thing's for sure: no matter where you live, the seasons always change in the same order. Let's get back to Annie's letter. When something happens over and over again in the same order, it is called a cycle. Every year, the cycle of seasons begins in winter, followed by spring, summer, autumn, and back to winter. I'll be talking about my hometown, Washington, D.C., a lot in my letters, but the characteristics of the 4 seasons where you live might be a little different. It will be fun to see if your weather is different from mine. I'll say goodbye for now, but I will write again soon. Until then, I hope you are enjoying beautiful weather where you live. Your friend, Annie.
Wow, we learned a lot about weather from Annie's letter. Scholars, what's the weather like where you are right now? Here at the MPB classroom, the weather outside is cool. I have an idea, Miss Ashlee. Let's think about all of the different weather characteristics Annie told us about in her letter. Boys and girls, do you remember what characteristics are?
That's right! You are so smart. Characteristics are the way that we describe and group things together. What's next, Miss Tekela?
Well, I have an anchor chart here that has 4 squares: winter, spring, summer, fall.
Those are the seasons that Annie taught us about.
That's right. Let's look at each season square and try and add some images of the characteristics of that season. Are you ready, boys and girls? Let's go in the order that Annie described and start with winter. What are some characteristics of winter? Miss Ashlee will share some images.
I'm ready, Miss Tekela.
That's right. Annie told us that it is very cold in winter. Sometimes there is snow or ice.
There's our icicles for winter.
Great work, scholars. Now, let's describe the characteristics of spring.
Oh, Miss Tekela. I heard somebody mention baby animals.
I heard that too. You also said that there are new leaves. It's warmer and the sun shines a little longer each day. Now let's describe summer. I just love the summer.
Me too. I love being able to get outside and work in my garden, which reminds me of a characteristic that Annie mentioned.
That's right, Miss Ashlee. Are you ready to share the characteristics you thought of, boys and girls? That's right. In summer, fruit and flowers grow on plants. Animals are easier to spot and it's hot outside.
Here's our sunshine and plants in the garden for summer. Oh, next is autumn or fall, which is my favorite season of all.
That's right. Autumn is the final part of the cycle, just like Annie later taught us. Boys and girls, what are some characteristics of autumn? Wow, great work. In autumn, the days get shorter, farmers harvest their crops, and leaves fall off the trees.
There are leaves falling off the trees. We keep talking about seasons, but I thought the word season could mean something you use when you cook. I season my food when I cook.
Well, Miss Ashlee, you're right. Seasons is a multiple meaning word. That means it has two different meanings. Season can mean the times of year, like what Annie wrote about, but it can also mean a spice you use to season your food.
Here is a picture of a season. Scholars, if this picture shows a season as a time of year, hold up one finger. If it shows a season as a spice for food, hold up 2 fingers.
You got it. We should hold up 1 finger for a time of year. What about this one?
Yeah, I heard you. We should hold up 2 fingers for a spice for food. What about this one?
That's right. We should hold up 2 fingers for a spice for food. How about this one?
Awesome work. We should hold up 1 finger for a time of year. What about this one?
Wow, you are rock stars. We should hold up 1 finger for a time of year. What about this one?
That's right. We should hold up 2 fingers for a spice for food.
Oh my gosh, you're doing such a great job. Now, how about this one?
You got it again. We should hold up 2 fingers for a spice for food. Kiss your brain. You are so smart.
That was a well-deserved kiss for your brain. You have worked so hard today. First, we learned our vocabulary words.
Then We read a letter from our pretend pen pal, Annie. Do you remember where Annie lives? That's right. Annie lives in Washington, D.C.
Then we discussed the characteristics of each season, just like Annie did in her letter. Do you remember a characteristic for autumn?
We also discussed the multiple meanings of the word season. Which one did Annie write about? That's right, a time of year. I've had so much fun today. Boys and girls, we hope you've enjoyed learning all about weather and the 4 seasons today from our pen pal, Annie. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
All rights and credits for today's lesson belong to Core Knowledge Language Arts. We would like to thank them for publicly sharing these valuable resources. The views and opinions expressed in this lesson are those of Core Knowledge authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Mississippi Department of Education. Thank you for joining us today, boys and girls. We will see you next time. Goodbye.